Scientists say they are stunned by what they've learned about the ferocity of the Tonga volcanic eruption in January. When the underwater mountain blew its top, it sent ash and water vapor halfway to space, and generated tsunami waves across the globe. A survey by New Zealand and UK vessels has now fully mapped the area around the Pacific volcano. It shows the seafloor was scoured and sculpted by violent debris flows out to a distance of over 80 kilometers, 50 miles. The mapping exercise at the Hunga-Tonga Hunga-Ha apai seamount was led by NZ's National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research, Niwa. The gathered data indicates that at least 9.5 cubic km, perhaps as much as 10 cubic km, of material was displaced during the cataclysmic event. This is a volume equivalent to something approaching 4,000 Egyptian pyramids. Two-thirds of that was the ash and rock ejected out through the volcano's caldera, or opening. You can think of it as a shotgun blast straight up into the sky, said marine geologist and Niwa project director Dr. Kevin McKay. Some of that material went beyond even the stratosphere into the mesosphere, 57 kilometers in altitude, the highest recorded eruption column in human history, he told BBC News. The other third was material scraped off the top and the sides of Hunga-Tonga as debris fell back down to sweep out across the ocean bottom. This transport took the form of pyroclastic density currents, which are avalanches of tumbling, scorching rock and gas. In water, their searing heat would have enveloped them in a frictionless steam cushion on which they could simply run at very high speed. The survey work tracked flows that even managed to travel up and over elevations of several hundred meters. This explains, for example, the loss of the submarine cable connecting Tonga to the global internet. A large section was cut out of this data link despite lying 50 kilometers to the south of Hunga-Tonga and beyond a large hill on the seafloor. Where you had these flows, there is nothing living there today. It's like a desert 70 kilometers from the volcano, Dr. McKay said. And yet, amazingly, just under the rim of the volcano, in places that avoided these density currents, you do find life. You find sponges. They dodged a bullet. The pyroclastic flows also have a part in the tsunami story of Hunga. Tonga. Waves were recorded across the Pacific but also in other ocean basins, in the Atlantic and even in the Mediterranean Sea. The Niwa team says there were essentially 4 ways water was displaced to generate these tsunamis. By the density flows pushing the water out of the way. Through the explosive force of the eruption also pushing on the water. As a result of the dramatic collapse of the caldera floor, it's dropped by 700 meters, and by pressure waves from the atmospheric blast acting on the sea surface.